So the big question is this: why join Eden? And if it's my job to convince you, then maybe I should pull on your heartstrings. I should show you footage and pictures of disadvantaged places and disadvantaged people. Maybe I should dig out all those statistics, all the indices of deprivation stuff, and draw your attention to that number one most disadvantaged community to try and convince you that moving there is what true Christianity looks like. But you know what? We're convinced that we should stay away from poverty porn because at best it evokes in you a sense of pity. And it is pity that is unlikely to kickstart compassion. What tends to happen is that pity leaves this stain called guilt, and what then happens is that duty begins to take root. And this is not the recipe for our calling. I don't believe that God shames us and guilts us into ministry. Condemnation is not the foundation of our calling. So maybe I should do the reverse, and I should tell you of all the great incentives available to you if you choose to join Eden. Sign up today to Eden and there are great rewards on offer. Maybe I should talk about those who choose downward mobility will somehow have some great upsides, that there is something called sacrificial living, but without the sacrifice. What is the opposite of sacrificial living? Maybe I need to draw your attention to that. But you know what? Most people volunteer their time, and I'm yet to meet anybody who's chosen to join Eden because they can pick up one of these bad boys. But I could try and motivate you with the eternal benefits. I could draw your attention to the crown that awaits you in heaven and those amazing feasts to come. Maybe I could tell you that if you join Eden, there will be a chocolate fountain in your wing of the heavenly mansion. But you know what? I don't feel I have that permission. I can't make that promise to you today that if you join Eden, all that stuff awaits. But let's not do it for the package. Certainly, let's not do it for the jumper. Maybe you're one of those extreme junkie missionary types that needs to be convinced that joining Eden will walk you closer to the edge than you've ever been before. Maybe you're one of those kind of base jumping evangelists that needs to feel the fear in order to know it's the right place for you. Maybe you are looking to take the cliff route up the hill of the Lord, carrying your cross and the cross of others on your back with no safety rope to help you. Maybe your love language is pain. You're the hero type with a savior complex, looking to write your story and rescue a bunch of people on the way, seeking your best life now. And maybe I should try then to convince you that this is the radical experience that you're looking for and that you should do it for the ride. Just go, jump in, dive head first. But maybe not. Because I believe your time would be short and you would leave hugely disappointed, and you would almost certainly do more damage than good to one of our sacred spaces. But the truth is, I've been each of those things. I've been the guy that has been stirred by the emotion when I've seen the poverty porn. I've been the guy motivated by statistics, and I've been the guy that's done it for the prize. Maybe not the sweatshirt, but I've done it for what may lie ahead. And I've certainly been the guy that's done it for the extreme experience. But all the time I come back to, why am I here? Why did I choose to join? Why did I make this step to join a team? And so it's so essential that I return to my calling. Often we lose sight of what happened there. Years on into my Eden adventure, it's so easy to forget what brought me here. For me, it was an encounter with the love of Jesus. It starts first with an awareness of his affection for me. A love so undeserved that captured my heart. Gratitude began to well up inside, a thankful heart and a worshipping heart. worship. It's worship that is at the foundation of our calling. Here, there is no duty. It's all about the overflow of desire and delight, a desire to be with Jesus and to follow him and to be with him and to please him and to pour my love out upon him. And so I seek true worship. I'm not talking about the hands lifted high worship, but the life laid down worship. In view of the mercy of God, we offer our bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. And so our calling is to go and always go with him and after him. Our calling is to go always in following after him. We aren't pushed, we aren't forced or coerced, but called to follow after him. By name we are called, compelled by his love, responding in worship. And as we follow, we end up in the places that he would go to, and we minister to the people that he ministered to. And in that moment, something incredibly beautiful happens that we almost don't realize. Jesus speaks. And he says, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take the inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me." And we'll answer and say, what do you mean? I don't really understand what you're getting at. How can that be so? I was following you. I went where you went and I did what you did. And Jesus will say, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." And then we see that what starts out with true and proper worship is both initiated and continued. That worship is there right at the very heart of all of this. It's worship that motivated me to go. It's worship that sustains me. And right at the end, Jesus will tell me that this was worship all along. Through the highs and the lows, through the seasons of plenty and the seasons of pain, right there at the very heart of it is Christ, worship of Jesus, because of his great mercy for us. I do this because he loved me first. Most will say that they have given far less than they gained, and they hope that they've made a difference to communities that they've been living in. But I hope all will say that they did it not to serve themselves, but to serve others. They didn't do it for the jumper, but they did it for Jesus, because of all that Jesus has done for them.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. Make sure you don't miss out on what's coming up on Message Live. All you need to do is like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell to receive notifications and the latest news of Message Live.